In March of 2001, Nintendo unleashed the Game Boy Advance to the market, their newest handheld with graphics that far surpassed the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. A lot of great games launched on that day, such as Mega Man Battle Network and Castlevania Circle of the Moon. With high quality launch games like that, how else could Nintendo improve in the handheld market? Well, as the worldwide launch took place a few months later, with a different lineup of games of course, it turned out that Nintendo and the Pokemon Company were messing around with another, smaller handheld, one that no one seems to ever talk about today or even acknowledge. On October 3rd, 2001, the two companies quietly released another new handheld, the Pokemon Mini. First launching in Australia of all places, the Pokemon Mini was barely noticed by the gaming media, or even Pokemon fans who were too into Pokemon Crystal version at the time. However, if you were able to pick one up on launch day, you could choose from 3 colors, Wooper Blue, Chikorita Green, and Smoochum Purple, each with Pokemon Party Mini, which is the pack-in game. Outside of the pack-in title, the system also had 3 launch games that came out on the same day as the system, with them being Pokemon Pinball Mini, Pokemon Zany Cards, and Pokemon Puzzle Collection. And just like that, in North America, the system died immediately, with no new games being released for the system. So what exactly does this thing do anyway, and why did it fail so quickly in the States despite having a big IP behind it? Well, as you can see right here, the Pokemon Mini lives up to its namesake by being pretty small. In fact, to this day it's one of the smallest video game systems ever, and to my knowledge the smallest handheld gaming console that I know of. It's smaller than both the PlayStation TV and the PC Engine consoles, both of which are already known for their small sizes and are consoles. And of course, it's even smaller than the Game Boy Micro, believe it or not, which was a system that most people assume is the smallest Nintendo system. The games do come on cartridges, just like the Game Boy Advance, but instead of pushing them in like you'd expect, they actually have to lock into place with a switch, probably to prevent you from accidentally pushing out the ejection slot with your thumb. Once they snap into place and are firm in the system, you simply press the power button and off you, well, after you put in a AAA battery, which this device needs to power on. In order to insert the battery, you have to unscrew the back panel with a flathead screwdriver, but thankfully the battery life on this thing is really long despite only needing one AAA battery, so you shouldn't need to open it up too often. Anyway, once the battery is inserted, you're able to start the game, which is when you'll learn of a few cool features that the Pokemon Mini has. To start things off, this system has an internal clock, making it the first Nintendo handheld since the Game & Watch line to have one. It also has infrared support just like the Pokemon Pikachu and the Game Boy Color did, allowing you to link up to other units for multiplayer games, and Pikachu Bros Mini, a Japanese-only release, can support up to 10 players! Sadly, I've never been able to test this out with even 2 players because of the rarity of the system, so I can't even comment on how well it works. You'll just have to take people's word for it. Of course, if you look at the game cartridges, you'll notice that none of them have a save battery. And back in the era before portable games could save without them, how on earth would you be able to save your high scores or level progression with these little cartridges? Well, believe it or not, this thing has internal memory storage, being the first Nintendo handheld to do so. It has 5 blocks of free space, and 9 of the 10 games available worldwide on the system use the internal memory for saving. Pokemon Zany Cards is the only one that never saves at all. The only game in the entire library that even takes up more than 1 block of memory is Pokemon Race Mini, which means even if you bought every single US Pokemon Mini game, you wouldn't run out of space. Thankfully, as was a tradition at this point in time, the Pokemon Mini is region free, meaning you can play games from other regions, regardless on where you purchase the system. For example, I have a European copy of Pokemon Pinball Mini, and it works perfectly fine in my North American unit. Unfortunately, this is where things start to get a bit bleak. If this system sounds super awesome and you want to buy one right away, be warned, as it's really tough to get your hands on a unit, much less one in the box. I got lucky back in 2008 and was able to get my green unit from eBay for $40 or so. Now used units online start out at around $80 with new in-box units going over the $100 point. The launch games are easier to come by, with Pokemon Pinball Minis selling anywhere from $20 to $70 depending on condition or region, Pokemon Puzzle Collection selling for around $50, and Pokemon Zany cards selling for around $60 on upwards. Out of the North American games I own, Pokemon Zany cards is the only one missing, mainly due to the high price and the overall rarity of it. Still, despite getting into a minor collecting phase in 2008, I can't help but think about the system every once in a while. I mean, in terms of quality, only 2 of the US released games are even good, and Pokemon Pinball Mini is average at best, but Puzzle Collection's an excellent game. That doesn't mean the system isn't interesting. Heck, I still think it's a cool piece of tech mainly because of the history behind it and how nice it looks. Yet no one talks about it. Not even the big Pokemon channels, it seems. Sure, you may hear about the Pokemon Mini emulator and Pokemon Channel, which is an umbrella game, so it sucks. But outside that, no one really acknowledges it, and in North America it died as soon as it released, with ESRB ratings confirming that there were some failed localizations for the future games, but we only got the launch games over here. In Europe, they got the system March of 2002, but shortly afterwards, they got a game where Pokemon crossed over with Tetris, known as Pokemon Shock Tetris, which is supposedly the best game on the entire system, but I haven't played it because of how rare it is. It's not expensive, but it just doesn't appear on online auctions that much, so I've never been able to secure a copy, and to this day it's a game I still keep my eye on. But alas, in Europe those 5 games still made the Pokemon Mini do poorly in the PAL regions, causing them to join the US and abandoning the system. By mid-2002, the only country in the entire world that still supported the system was Japan, and that was before they discontinued at the end of the year, but they did put out 5 more games in that period, 2 of which are simple sequels to the launch games, being Pichu Bros Mini and Pokemon Puzzle Collection Volume 2, but the remaining 3 are all new experiences. Pokemon Race Mini is a cool platformer with a nice variety of levels, Togepi's Great Adventure is a top-down monkey ball clone of sorts, and finally Pokemon Breeder Mini, which was the final game ever released on the entire system at the very end of 2002. This is the only game to use Horn Pokemon, but it doesn't offer much outside of a generic pet simulator. It's still neat to see that the Pokemon Mini at least managed to survive the Gen 3 though. And with that, the system was just discontinued worldwide. It faded into obscurity before it even got a chance to shine, and it didn't even do well in its home country. So you may be asking after all this, how did I ever get my hands on a $40 Pokemon Mini when I was only 10 years old? I mean, after all, I couldn't use eBay at that age, and surely I wouldn't know what it was. Well, believe it or not, that Pokemon Mini emulator I mentioned earlier that was on Pokemon Channel, that's how I knew about those games. I was interested in the system, but unfortunately the games offered in the Pokemon Mini emulator Unfortunately, the games offered in Pokemon Channel were very simple demos or snippets of Party Mini, so I wanted more. Therefore, I decided to go and get Puzzle Collection and had my grandmother look up a Pokemon Mini on eBay, and we got lucky. So in the end, is the Pokemon Mini worth buying? Honestly, I don't think so. The only 2 good games that are easily available are the 2 puzzle collection games, with Volume 2 being a bit harder to find, like with Tetris, because it doesn't appear often. However, if Pokemon Shock Tetris ever goes down in price, you can bet I'll get it, and I hope if that happens, other people can be able to experience the joys of this system. Because if you appreciate it for what it is and the innovations it did, it's a pretty cool system. And I think if you find it for cheap at a garage sale and it still works, pick it up. I don't think you'll regret it, especially if you get Puzzle Collection, because this is a fun game. That's Eternal Memories Pokemon Mini, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye. Oh hey, you actually made it to the end card. Sorry if it looks generic, like probably all my other ones. I'm still getting used to this whole end card thing, and with my limited tools, I don't think I can make a good one right now. But hey, I got a new avatar commissioned, and I'm starting to branch out in hopes of getting my passion to be heard by more people. You can follow me on Patreon. You can come to my Patreon page and fund the show in order to help make better episodes of higher quality, make the gameplay videos better, and get input on future episodes. Or you could also follow me on Twitter at @cfoamgaming, go to my website at cfoamgaming.com to look at the reviews I do on a normal basis, and subscribe to the channel in order to get updates on future Eternal Memories episodes. You can even vote for the next episode right now in the poll in the description for a short time. I thank you all for listening to my short episode on the Pokemon Mini. This was a system I had fun with growing up, and I wanted to give a retrospective on it. Of course, because the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon ones were way too long, and were only for fans of the series, I tried to make it in a compact way that would make it so that all fans of the system, or people who've never heard of it before, would be able to watch the whole video, get a good idea of it, and just overall have a good time and maybe pick a system up if they find one. Nevertheless, I hope to make Eternal Memories my mainstay, and episodes will take a while to come out, hence why the Patreon is only on a by-episode basis, because I may go a whole month without making one, or I may make a few in a month, but not much. I decided to start off with the by-episode version for Patreon. But don't worry, if I do go on a weekly basis somehow, I will make it for a whole month so that way I don't drain the wallets. And to be honest, I just really only opened the Patreon so I can get fundraising for stuff like an HD capture device for my gameplay videos because people won't stop pestering me about it. I'm saving money for one, but if I got help, that would make it so much better, and I could maybe make even better looking videos. Still, regardless of how much I get for Patreon, which I just opened, I still hope that I can make fun videos regardless of what happens, because no matter what, all the YouTube videos will be, all the Eternal Memories episodes will be on YouTube for you to watch and enjoy. This is Seafoam Gaming, saying goodbye once again.